This is an IPA. This is a double IPA. What's the difference? Today we'll figure it out.
Hey, we're 20 years into the 21st century, and Pennsylvania beer laws, God bless them, are finally catching up.
He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Caskers Beer Barn, Exeter Township, PA, for What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. We are open. Travel responsibly. Follow the Bucks County Ale Trail. Go to visitbuckscounty.com/ale trail to get your passport. By the Craft Beer Trail of Greater Philadelphia. 5 counties, 90+ breweries, and 1,000+ craft beers. And by Conshohocken Brewing Company, now shipping beer to all of Pennsylvania at conchiexpress.com.
It's a place that inspires the dreamers, the overachievers. A place for those who follow the path, as well as the ones who blaze them. So whether you want to go with the flow or rise above it all, visit Bucks County and be inspired.
Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow. This is the great Joe Sixpack. Delighted to be back for a new season here on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Thank you to everybody who watches, everybody who reaches out to us. Today we're at Caskers Beer Barn, Exeter Township, Berks County, where they have an amazing selection of craft beers.
Incredible. That's just a taste of it behind us, but get inside there and do the aisles because they have pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. We're doing the show outside. We're trying to remain as safe as we can. If you hear a little ambient noise, just consider it part of the fun. By the way, I want to thank one of our sponsors, of course, visitphilly.com. Go on there. You can find all the great places all around the region, bars, restaurants, breweries, everything. It's great. Be there. Okay, we always begin with our swap, and today our swap is double IPAs, and we'll explain the reason in a minute, but what do you got?
We've had a lot of double IPAs on the show over the years, but I was interested in the news about this. But the first one is that we're going to taste is the, let's see, I got to remember, the Winding Path El Dorado Haze. These guys are from out in York County.
I think I'm wearing their hat. Indeed, I am.
You are.
We've had this beer before, and I like this beer.
Yeah. And so this is their double IPA. It's made with, has sort of oats and wheat and lactose, so it should be a full-bodied. They say it has an aroma of plum, tropical cherry. It's very nice smelling. Not as big and a bit bold as some of the hazy IPAs we're so used to.
What percent is this, baby?
This is 8% alcohol.
Okay.
I like it. You know what? It tastes like an IPA. It does not taste like a fruit bomb.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And so the issue is double IPAs and why they have become so big in the last year. Let me give you some numbers because this is amazing to me. According to Nielsen, which does, in addition to TV radio ratings, they do beer ratings, double IPAs grew by 8.7% in 2019, second only to hazy IPAs. Okay, that's impressive. Drizzly, you may know more about them than I do, which is an alcohol e-commerce platform, says sales of Imperial and double IPAs increased 512%?
That's huge.
That's huge.
Well, you know,
so the question is why?
yeah, there was this whole thing about that for a long time. We've been hearing about session IPAs or session beers and no or low alcohol beers, the whole healthy beer lifestyle, and we're starting to crank it up with some 8 and 9% beers.
Yes.
At the hell of that.
I
It's just-
scoff at
yeah.
the healthy beer nonsense.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why people were so into those.
Well, because they want to work out, they want to be
Yeah.
thin and all that. Give me one more glass
I
there.
think we went by the wayside on that one once the pandemic hit, because people don't have to drive out to bars. They can drink at home. They don't have to worry about getting a little bit, lightheaded.
Yeah.
And so they were more willing to drink a stronger beer.
Full body.
Yes. Well,
Much like myself. Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. You're not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. Let's have something with a lot of taste. So, Conshohocken Brewing Company, which people know I'm involved with, one of our best sellers always has been the MC5. So
One of
this
my
is
favorites.
the MC5. This is an IPA. It's a hazy IPA, as you can see. This year, we started making, along with that, the double MC5, okay? So the question is, first I'm going to ask you, kind of from a technical point of view, what's the difference between an IPA and a double IPA?
there's no difference in the color at all, Glenn. It looks like the same exact beer no matter what. I'm going to have to keep this in mind. Basically, double IPA doesn't mean it's double strength or double the hops. It just means it's more. It's bigger.
The MC5 IPA is 6.7%. The double IPA is 8.6%.
Right.
So
double IPA, that's the first one I tasted. Regular IPA. Classic, kind of
Nice.
big hoppy flavor. A lot of malt in the background there too.
oh, definitely, but there's definitely an extra oomph to it.
Yeah, that's called
Right.
alcohol, and
Oh, that's why he's the expert.
There's
I'm
all-
just the facilitator. He's the pro.
there's a good bit more hops in there. Really, double IPAs are sort of a embodiment of the American craft brewing spirit, which is all about taking things to the extreme, as we do in America anyway.
We do that, yeah.
And so if a little bit of hops are good, a lot of hops are even better. And that's really where it started. Although, honestly, if you talk to the guy that first made the first double IPA, Vinny Chilurzo, who's now at Russian River Brewing, he would tell you that it was also there to mask some of the off flavors of beer. People, when you have like problems with your brewing, or some off flavors that came because of the way you fermented, the hops will tend to mask that.
I see. Well, I don't think that's the case for any of these.
No. They were made intentionally this
Yeah.
way. So,
Okay.
and people love it because we're hopheads in this country.
Generally a little more expensive. I read usually about $1 more a 6-pack, which is, that's what are you talking about? A penny an ounce. No big deal.
I'm glad you did the math.
There you go.
But you're right, it's a little bit more expensive, but I love them. I've always been a big fan of double IPAs, and I'll tell you why. It always seems like there's a little bit more malt in them, and I love malt in my beer, and sometimes a little bit of sweetness to go along with the bitterness of the hops.
Well, that's very well said. It's a good style, and we enjoy it. And, this was a fun way to start the show. Coming up, we're going to talk about good idea, bad idea, including a brewery out in another part of the state that's decided, hey, why don't we do flights for kids? Well, it may not exactly be what you think, but we'll get into that. He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Caskers Beer Barn, Exeter, PA, up in Berks County. Fine place to get all of your favorite beer styles. We'll be back next on What's Brewing. Hey everybody, it's cold outside and that means it's the winter beer season. Head to any Conshohocken Brewing Company location or local beer retailer for Conshohocken Brewing's seasonal lineup. We've got 2-hour delay, hazy winter IPA, Mr. Robusto, a robust porter, and 2-time World Beer Cup Award winner Puddler's Row ESB. Those and our others are sure to ring the bell this winter season. That's Conshohocken Brewing Company. Cheers. Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. Joe Sixpack, Glen Macnow. We're having a great time here at Caskers Beer Barn up in Exeter Township, PA. Sometimes we like to do a little feature called Good Idea, Bad Idea. And you found this first one. Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie Brewing out in Pennsylvania in the western part of the state is now doing craft beer, I'm sorry, not craft beer, craft soda flights for children.
Okay, so you go to this brewery, and Dad and Mom order, like, you know, give me a stout, give me an IPA, give me a lager, and the kids, as you can see from this fine picture, say, give me a root beer, give me a cream soda, give me an orange. And that's a really adorable picture of a really sweet little girl. Here's another, 2 little girls enjoying themselves there. And boy, that seems all fine and good. But Joe Sixpack, I gotta tell you, as much as I am a supporter of the craft beer industry and enjoy having kids at the brew pubs, I've argued about that.
Right.
I like it, you don't. To me, this is like, let's create the next generation of drinkers today.
Come on, it's root beer. Come on. they're already.
I don't know, what do you think?
Well, you know, I would say maybe it's kind of innocent, it's fun, but frankly, what I think is pretty hilarious about is that we're going to load up these kids with a bunch of sugar in a brewery, let them go off running like crazy. I think that that the Erie Brewing might be biting off more than they can chew.
Asking for some trouble.
Yes.
There you go. All right, good idea, bad idea. Evil Genius, which we've talked about, we've had their beer, we like their stuff.
Absolutely.
They have teamed up with Miller Lite on a collaboration. Let me get this name right. Oh, you have it there.
It is. This is their beer, Brunch So Hard. It's actually with Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Yes.
So they've made a Mimosa beer as a collaboration. That is Evil Genius up in the Fishtown section of Philadelphia.
All right.
And they made a Mimosa as a collaboration with Miller Brewing, one of the biggest breweries in the world.
I'm a fan of Evil Genius. I like their work. I like their collaborations. We're all about collaborations, peace and harmony in the world. But Joe Sixpack, something tells me you don't like this at all.
Yeah, I think that they got the wrong idea of what collaboration means here. To me, collaboration is about brewers coming together and making a beer that might be different than either one might make together.
Yeah.
This version of collaboration brings to mind the Vichy and the Third Reich, frankly. I mean, we're talking about...
For those who may not know, he's alluding to collaborating with the enemy.
Right, exactly. And the idea here is that, you know, you had a small, dinky little brewery. They've been growing, but they're small compared to this monolithic Miller Brewing Company that has helped destroy the world of beer by dumbing down the beer over the years and basically trying to dominate through pure size. So, collaboration with them seems to be antithetical to the whole idea of small craft brewing. So I might have gone over the board with the whole Vichy thing, but to me it
No. Pull no punches. I like it.
It brings to mind maybe something like if Pat's Steaks down in South Philly decided to collaborate with
McDonald's.
McDonald's,
Yeah,
exactly.
I got it. I got it. All right, we've been having fun in our new season. We always do a brew down, and this year we did 32 easy to find craft beers, and we got our second week of matchups.
Yes, and this week we're doing 2 different divisions, including the global division, which I
Global division craft beers.
Yes, I created that division because these ostensibly are craft beers.
Yeah.
Goose Island, but owned by Anheuser-Busch, the largest brewery in the world.
Yes.
And then Founders All Day IPA, people may not be aware of it, but this is actually owned by San Miguel, another multinational brewery.
The difference is that to me, this is a really good beer, but I don't want to influence anybody who won.
It's a session ale, session IPA. It's pretty decent. Goose Island IPA, I sort of do a little meh on both of them, but at any rate, our viewers really gave the vote to Founders All Day IPA, 64% to Goose Island IPA.
I like it. All right, what else?
All right, so then I went with another division which I called Old School.
Yes.
These are they are old breweries that have been around for a long time, but they've pivoted to...
You put so much work into this. It's
More work.
amazing. I would just throw them in the air and make a list. What do you got?
Okay, so this is the ultimate old school brewery, which is Yingling,
old
the
school as it
oldest
gets,
brewery in America.
Yes.
And Lion's Head, the Lion Brewery up in Wilkes-Barre.
That's one I've never tried.
Been around. They've been pre-Prohibition brewery, been around for a long time. Went with the lager and their Pilsner. This is one of those beers that a lot of brewers drink because it's cheap. And so the overwhelming victor again was Yingling Lager, almost 3-1
There you go.
over the
I got to tell you,
Lion's Head.
Yingling Lager could go far in this thing.
Yes, I think so.
Some people may not see it as a craft beer, but it's a very popular beer. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to some of the nice people who run this place, Caskers Beer Barn in Exeter Township, next on What's Brewing.
It's a place that inspires the dreamers, the overachievers. A place for those who follow the path, as well as the ones who blaze them. So whether you want to go with the flow or rise above it all, visit Bucks County and be inspired.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. Glen Macnow Joe Sixpack. We are delighted to be at Caskers Beer Barn in Exeter Township, PA, just east of Reading, I guess would be it. Lisa Tasker, co-owner of this place, joins us. And Lisa, what I love about your place, other than the beer selection and everything else you've got, it's a family business. Tell us a little bit about how you guys got started.
Well, we used to come here years ago, and when the gentleman that had this place before shut down, it was an empty shell, and we were talking, and we had to travel to go get some beer, and I was like, why don't we just buy it, you know, and see if we could do this. And we talked and we got some things together, and Tom and I bought the place and we filled it up with beer. It was just, like I said, an empty shell when we got it, and we wanted to focus on the craft beer, and that's what we've done. And we still have our domestic people that come in and everything, and I love those too. So, you know, we're all over the place.
If they want to buy it, you want to sell it. So, Lisa, I know it's been a tough year for everybody, but you guys have done okay because other things were closed. You were able to stay open. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, it was very interesting when everything went down. We were told that we were a life-sustaining business. We actually have T-shirts now that say life-sustaining. We were officially declared life-sustaining.
I agree, and I do want to get one of those cool T-shirts before I go. Yes, okay.
But there were some things, some rules we did have to follow, and we are still following them. We actually enclosed the whole register area in plexiglass.
I saw. Looks
and
very safe.
We had stickers on the floor 6 feet apart so people could come in and still feel comfortable. Everybody needed to wear a mask.
I think a lot of people don't want to hang around bars, and certainly didn't want to hang around indoors in bars. A lot more people are getting their stuff, enjoying it at home, and so they can do that. I know you guys do delivery. That's just a small thing, or do people want?
Yeah, we're starting to ramp that up a lot. You know, we deliver cases, we deliver kegs. You know, whatever you need in the area, we will deliver it to you.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that are selling these days at Caskers. Again, we are in this amazing craft beer section, and by the way, I do appreciate that you carry the nice Conshohocken Brewing Company beer. I like that. Thank you so much. But I got to ask you, because this always worries me, what's big these days? And please don't say seltzer.
No, well, we do sell the seltzers. They are big, but the main thing is the slushies now. We do sell adult slushies. We have a whole bunch of different flavors. They're all different types of percentage in alcohol, and they are selling, especially over the summer, they were just blowing us out. Yeah. I think we sold more slushies than anything.
Well, it's a nice summer drink. I guess I can sort of see that. Hey, one of the other things that I know you do is you've worked as a school bus driver. We talked about that last time we were here. And you got the whole your whole family involved in this business, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Our children are involved in the business.
I think that's really nice. But I was curious, with schools having been closed, I guess now here it's hybrid schools, kids going part-time. What does that impact your job? Are you doing different responsibilities?
Yes, yes. Exeter Township School District actually is, we are delivering food to the children right now. They're going to start a hybrid program next month, but for now, and since pretty much the beginning of the year, we have been delivering lunches and breakfasts out to the children that need them. They're supplying them for free for all the kids in the township, and it's nice to see them come up to the bus. It really is.
So Lisa, let me see if I got this right. By day, or some days, you're delivering food to children, sustenance, and then the rest of the time, You're selling all these amazing beers to adults, more sustenance.
Yes, yes.
You're doing the angel's work, Lisa
Yes,
Tasker.
that's right.
Terrific. Well,
But we
listen,
have an amazing staff, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them.
very nice to hear. And Joe Sixpack and I are delighted to be here again. We love your business. We certainly tell people that you should come out if you're looking for an amazing beer experience. Look, there are a lot of beer stores, and I like them all, but this place, Caskers in Exeter Township, is astounding. You can just look at me. I've tried a lot of beers in my lifetime and over the year. There's stuff here that I've never tried. I plan to leave this store today with one of each. That is my goal. Anyway, Lisa Tasker, thank you to you and Tom for having us again. Joe Sixpack and I will be back with more coming up right here on What's Brewing.
They're not just familiar faces. They're your friends and neighbors. It's their small businesses, a beating heart that makes a neighborhood a home. The places with a pick-me-up or a story that inspires, where you can share a taste of comfort with the personal touch that makes our world shine a little brighter. Support small and make a big difference. Make it local. Make it Main Street. Make it Montco.
Welcome back to What's Brewing. He's Joe Sixpack. By the way, follow him on Twitter at @beer_radar. I'm Glen Macnow. Follow me on Twitter at Real Glen Macnow. Believe it or not, there was a fake out there. Who knows why? We are here at Tasker's Beer Barn in Exeter Township. Hey, make sure you follow one of our sponsors, Montco Makers. Download their app. It's terrific. You find all kinds of fun places. All right, Joe Sixpack. I moved to Pennsylvania in 1986.
So you're a newcomer.
Yeah. I felt like I had moved to Mars. First time I moved into my house. I went to buy a case of beer. I went to a store. It's like, oh, you can only buy a six-pack here. You got to go there to buy the case. So I went there, but maybe I'll pick up some wine. No, you can't buy wine there. You got to buy wine here. But if you want scotch, you got to go there. A single. How did it's better now, and we'll get there. But how did Pennsylvania become so screwed up?
Yeah, the weird thing is that we all thought that was normal.
Yeah, right. If you grow up
you just
here,
got used to it, you know. So, and it's weird. Like there was even stranger laws. Like for instance, you go to a bar to get that six-pack you want, but you can only get two because there's a number of ounces that you could take. You know, we had a law in Pennsylvania for a long time. You couldn't buy beer. I'm talking about into the 2000s when you couldn't buy beer with a credit card.
Really?
Yes, it was insane. So, yeah, the rules in Pennsylvania have always been weird. It's mainly because they were all established back right after the Prohibition ended, and the whole idea
Who was running this state? Connie Mack?
Well, they were prohibitionists, frankly. The Quakers, come on. Yeah. So they didn't drink, and the idea here was, you know, there's a great thing. I always point people to this when they ask me what happened here. I point them to the actual liquor law in Pennsylvania that was passed in 1933, and the preamble of it says, the Liquor Control Act shall be deemed an exercise of police power of the Commonwealth for the protection of public welfare, health, peace, and morals, and all to prohibit forever the open saloon. So that terminology is right out of like 1910.
Yeah, really.
So that's where all these laws came from.
Okay.
It was this bizarre kind of strong enforcement.
And what I always heard long after that was when people want to get rid of it and make it easier, it's like you got to protect the unions that sell the liquor at the liquor stores.
Exactly.
Like, how many people are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of political and money interests involved in this whole thing.
The good news is it's gotten sort of better. Again, and I'm sure you hear this all the time. I grew up in New York State. I lived in Florida. I lived in Michigan. You could go to a 7-Eleven and get yourself a case of beer. This was not a federal offense.
Right.
But it has gotten better here over the years.
It has, and one of the reasons I think is craft beer, because craft beer sort of normalized the whole idea of beer drinking. It was no longer just about pounding beers and getting buzzed. It was about pairing beer for its flavor with food, enjoying the creativity of craftsmanship. And so we saw the LCB in particular start to weaken through some administrative rules, the beer regs, and then also there was an act in 2016, the Act 39, that really, as Governor Wolf said, free the six-pack, and that's what happened with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that's true. And I know now you can, at Conshohocken Brewing Company, we can sell you a mixed drink.
Right.
At some of the distilleries, they can sell you beer.
Right.
And part of the law is only Pennsylvania products, which, you know what, I'm fine with.
okay
Help the
with that,
local
too.
economy, right? There's enough good ones.
Absolutely. And even bigger than that was the idea that you could finally go into a grocery store and buy beer.
Oh, my heart.
Of course.
Oh, my still heart.
You still have to take it to a different cash register, and it has to be bagged up separately.
Yes.
And there's
or
probably,
when I go, you go to the Giant, you got to do the whole thing.
right. The store manager follows you out with a German Shepherd to make sure you don't put a bag of Doritos in there.
Yes.
So the rules are still kind of crazy. You know, things have loosened up though, and that's all for the good, I think.
All right, real quickly, what about New Jersey? Because civilized, but maybe not so much.
Right, so we always talk about Pennsylvania rules being so bizarre, but you know, we know in New Jersey there was these strange rules involving breweries that where you used to have to take a tour. They've loosened that up a little bit. Take a tour before you can drink a beer. I mean, as if it was like a second grade field trip or something. But today you still can't serve food in a brewery.
Is that because of the restaurants don't want the competition?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. The liquor licenses for restaurants are a lot more expensive. They have a valid point. They're a lot more expensive than a brewery license.
All right. Imagine when we go through all this with marijuana in Pennsylvania, because that's all going to happen in the next 5 years. We know that.
Exactly. Well, you better be able to buy Doritos with your weed. Let me tell you.
So where the momentum has been on the good side of making it more convenient and more easy. There are Wawas where you can actually buy some beer, supermarkets, as you said. 10 years from now, will Pennsylvania be like any other civilized state?
I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I think we have this conservative attitude about alcohol, and I don't see it going away anytime soon.
Well, the good news is you can come to Caskers Beer Barn and you can buy this amazing array of great products at affordable prices and good hours, and we have enjoyed ourselves immensely.
Absolutely. I love the way they've embraced craft beer here. They really, they brought craft beer to, the Berks County region, and you can come out here. Actually, it is worth the road trip.
Exactly. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack. Give me one of these, give me one of these, give me one of these. And we have enjoyed it immensely. So thanks to them, and thanks to everybody else who has watched. We will be back next week and for weeks to come. Outside, socially distanced and safe. Joe Sixpack, here's to you.
Cheers, man.
We'll see you next week on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism and Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. We are open. Travel responsibly. Follow the Bucks County Ale Trail. Go to visitbuckscounty.com/ale trail to get your passport. By the Craft Beer Trail of Greater Philadelphia, 5 counties, 90+ breweries, and 1,000+ craft beers. And by Conshohocken Brewing Company, now shipping beer to all of Pennsylvania at ConchiExpress.com.